Wetin I do? I don't know. I just dey cry for the corner where I sit. I don't know wetin I do for the person. I beg go. Me say I don bully person before. Not be one person, not be two. Maybe na the thing wey I do don dey backfire for my head. I don't know sha.
Mo ti yan ọmọ kékeré kan jẹ́rí right. So gba ọmọ yẹn sì kéré gan. Mo wá gba owó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, mo wá ní kó máa lọ. So mo wá feel guilty rárá mi pé nǹkan tí mo ṣe ń gbà yẹn pé kò dáa. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí mo sọ pé wọ́rú bàtà mi ẹ̀ máa fẹ́ ká báwo ló ṣe máa wọ́rú bàtà mi pé ó gbà yẹ kí pọ̀ létà mo wá dọ̀bálẹ̀ mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ kó tí kò má bì. Mo ti yan ẹnìkan jẹ́rí tó jẹ́ ìyàwó mi ìdè tí mo lọ náà pẹ́rẹ́ǹtì ẹnìkan náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ mi jẹ́ tó jẹ mí ní owó tó jẹ́ pé kò fún mi náà bí pé kí n kíkọ dé orí ẹ̀. Báyọ̀ ọkọ tó ṣe é dùn yín o àti ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ àti ìjà àti òwe kan wà tó jẹ́ pé tá a bá jà máa parí ẹ̀ mo ti ṣàwọn ẹ̀ ọkọ tó ṣe òwe yẹ kó mọ̀ pé ó dùn mí gan ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣá. About school life me Saibo in Cross River State as I dey now the thing wey do me for my secondary school level the thing still dey my hand and they came the line say never even go. Even if I see her now, me I no forgive am o. Me I go do am my own. So make him know say even na Calabar me Abibu, me I go retaliate. Even now na revenge, no be retaliate again. That time don go.
The other thing wey they do me for school, the time when I dey secondary school, not be something wey person dey forget. That guy, if I see am now, not be something wey be say somebody wey be say just because of say he be senior, he look me say I be junior. I wear school uniform wey better pass the own. I sew new school uniform. Because of that, he punish me to the extent say he tell me say make I go lie down for inside classroom wey goat dey shit inside the goat shit. That one no do am. He still draw motor for wall. He say make I push am. In fact, that guy, I still dey target am. But the day wey we go free, na he go chop him. The day I dey SS1, I friend somebody for SS2. Those seniors come know. They carry me go their own private room, draw girl. Say see that girl, they make love with her. Then when they draw for ball, who fit make love with person when they draw for ball? Now so I dey kiss chop. I dey kiss chop. They say make I embrace am well. I go take embrace. So now, as I dey like this, all those seniors wey dey see me now, they go dey fear because if I see them now, I go hold them, they go follow embrace their own. So na wetin dey be that.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá yan èmi jẹ́ máa ń fà lé Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́ ni àti lóòótọ́ Ọlọ́run fún àtọ́lọ́run tó máa ń yẹ.
I got rights, you got rights, we all got rights.
Thanks for staying tuned to Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barigo Nireke Ibadan. The program is still Child Rights at Omode. Lori Koni Pensioners 106.7 Nani Ashua. I hope you enjoyed the little audio clip that I brought, although that was what I used last week too. And there's a reason why I actually decided to repeat the same audio clip, because my guest last week is not my guest this week anyway. So I just want to familiarize, I want my guest to familiarize herself with what is on ground for us to talk about today. Last week we talked about child bullying and we couldn't really touch some areas because of our time. So today's discussion is a continuation of last week's topic. My guest last week said to qualify a child as a bully, that 3 things should be considered, should be looked at for in a child. And she said hostility, and she said imbalance of power. That means more energized, one will be more energized than the other. That's imbalance of power. And she said repetition, habitual, it has become an habitual thing. So she talked about some other things too that I cannot really talk about because of our time. So today I'm here with a child rights activist also. I'm not going to mention her name. She's going to give us her introduction by herself. Can we meet you now?
Okay, I am Mrs. Ibukolo Otashile. I would rather a child rights advocate.
Oh, child rights advocate.
Yes, I think that
one is more powerful.
I think I would rather advocate than activist, because you know, a lot of times once you come up with activism, you almost have some people going to the defensive. It's almost as if it's just about fight.
Right. Okay.
And it's not every time that we come out, with ourselves. There are times we actually just, because some people come from a point of ignorance actually. So at times like that, you don't bring out the sword or you don't bring out the gun. You actually don't just dialogue with them. You talk to them, enlighten them. So usually I prefer child advocate.
That's nice. She said she's a child rights advocate. She's not a child rights activist. Anyways, so mami ni kúkúrú kí lorúkọ yín bá mi sọ orúkọ yín.
Okay, ìyáàfin Ìbùkúnolúwa Ọ̀tẹ̀sílé lórúkọ mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. A máa okay, so that's where we go. Okay, mo máa gbìyànjú. Yes, mo máa gbìyànjú láti dáàbò bo ẹ̀tọ́ àwọn ọmọdé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni láti rí pé a fi ẹ̀tọ́ wọn lù a fẹ̀tọ́ wọn dùn wọ́n a yàn wọ́n jẹ ní àwùjọ wa pé àwọn ọmọdé wa wọ́n rí ẹ̀tọ́ wọn gbà tó yẹ kó jẹ́ fún wọn. Bóyá nínú ilé ni bóyá láwùjọ ni bóyá látọ̀dọ̀ ìjọba nípa àwọn nǹkan tó yẹ kí ìjọba gbé sílẹ̀ ní táwa dúró fún ni láti rí i pé ní gbogbo ọ̀nà àwọn ọmọdé wa wọ́n rí ààbò tó yẹ tó péye ní gbogbo gbà.
Thank you so much ma. Ní kúkúrú mà kí ni a lè pè ní ìfìyàjẹ ọmọ?
Ìfìyàjẹ ọmọ nǹkan tó burú ni nǹkan tó dẹ̀ wọ́pọ̀ ni. Vox Pop tá a gbọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan fún bá ṣe lóríṣiríṣi lèmi náà rántí nǹkan tí tèmi gan tí mo ìrírí tèmi náà tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi mo rántí pé ní secondary school tí mo wà ní GS1 boarding school kan ni mo lọ federal government school kan ni ó ní senior kan nígbà yẹn tí mi kò ṣáà mọ̀ ó ṣáà máa ń kórìíra mi ló bá dijọ́ náà ọmọ ọ̀pá máa ṣokun dé so àwọn òbí mi wá wọn gbóúnjẹ wá mo fún àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi aṣáàjọ jẹun kan lára àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí mo wá yàrá ọ̀tá máa ń dúró sí hostel wa pín sí méjì èmi wà ní A senior yìí wà ní B so lára àwọn ọmọ ọ̀rẹ́ mi tí mo fún lóúnjẹ kan wà ní B so ké oúnjẹ tí mo fún ló bá gbé síbi ojú window bunkmate ẹ̀ ní senior yìí nígbà ká tó lọ ká tó bọ̀ ìjà lọ bá ti wọlé ìjà lọ ti tò sí wọ́n bá béèrè pé ta ló gbá ẹjọ́ ẹ máa wò pé ta ló tẹ̀bẹ́ ẹni tó gbábọ́ síbẹ̀ ló yẹ kó ní jìyà lọ béèrè pé ta ló gbábọ́ síbẹ̀ ọmọ tó gbábọ́ lòun ò gbábọ́ lọ́ bá ní ta ló labọ́ náà lọ́ bá ní kó lọ pè mí wá ló bá di èmi ló ní kí n máa fọwọ́ kó ìjà lọ mo fi ọwọ́ kó ìjà lọ láti ojú wíńdò kó ì tó wà ńlẹ̀ lọ dà sí ìta bẹ́ẹ̀ni so fífìyà jẹ ọmọ nǹkan tó burú jáì nǹkan tí kò dẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ máa ṣe èyí tí mo sọ yìí ọdún tó ti gùn ún náà
ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀yin náà ẹ sì tún rántí
mo dẹ̀ ṣe wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ because ó traumatize me nǹkan tó dẹ̀ tó fi burú nìyẹn fífìyà jẹ kò sí bó tiẹ̀ bóyá ọmọdé wà bá gbàlagbà kò sẹ́nì kankan tó máa fìyà jẹ tí ò ní tó máa gbàgbé ọmọdé dẹ̀ ṣòro ṣẹ̀ bó ṣe máa sọ ni a máa rò pé
wọ́n mọ̀ pé senior yín yẹn ó lè ti gbàgbé wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá yàgbé kò rántí
ẹni tó bá fọwọ́ kò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó lè ti gbàgbé in fact ó ní àwọn ìgbà kan tí mo kàn tiẹ̀ máa ń kémi àti ẹ̀ tiẹ̀ pàdé ṣùgbọ́n lọ́wọ́ tí ó fi ṣe
ẹ̀yin náà wo nǹkan tí gbàtà gbọ́tán nìsín kan ní tó ń bá rí àwọn senior wọn ó ní pé kọ́ àwọn náà wá ṣe nǹkan
Ọlọ́run ò tí ì fún mi láǹfààní bọ́ bí Ọlọ́run ṣe máa ń ṣe nǹkan ó nìkan náà tó wá jẹ́ pé ìgbà tá a fi máa wá pàdé ẹ mọ̀ wọ́n máa ní life is a leveler ìgbà tá a fi máa wá pàdé balance yẹn ti wá ṣèkì padà bọ̀ kì í ṣe kí wá nígbà yẹn ni mo fẹ́ máa
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
so nǹkan tó burú jù ní tó burú jáì ní nǹkan tí ó dẹ̀ ti pẹ́ tó ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ni púpọ̀ láàrin àwọn ọmọ wa ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ìpèníjà yìí wọ́n sì ti ìwé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn tó sì ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni
ó sì ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bá ti bá yín sọ̀rọ̀
púpọ̀ náà àwọn ọmọ wa ni àwọn kan dé wà tó jẹ́ pé ó máa ń really affect wọn psychologically àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé ó kàn lè ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣẹmọ̀ tá a kò máa gbàgbé ó lè dùn ẹbọ tí kò ní ìpalára ṣùgbọ́n àwọn kan máa ń wà especially tó bá ti di pé léra ṣẹlẹ̀ ó lè ní ìpalára fún ìdàgbàsókè ọmọ náà.
That's good. Thank you so much ma. Thank you so much. What are the causes of child bullying? Kí ni àwọn nǹkan tó máa ń fà? What are the causes?
ṣe rí kókó fún mi ní àkọ́kọ́ òun ni tí àwọn òbí àwọn ọmọ tó bá ti kùnà níbi à ń tọ́ àmú ọmọ dàgbà. I always say there's no child born bad. Kò sí ọmọ tá a bí ní tó níwà burúkú bá a ṣe bí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà bá a ṣe bí pẹ̀lú bá a ṣe mọ̀ pé òkè àbí wa sínú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni bá a ṣe kọ ìyẹn yàtọ̀ bó kò sí ọmọ náà tó jẹ́ pé bó ṣe ti bí ìka dì sínú ọmọ rẹ̀ kò sọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ìṣesí ìrírí wa láàrin àwùjọ nínú ilé wa tó bá rí ló máa fi ṣe àwòkọ́ṣe ẹ máa rí i pé tẹ bá pe àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké tẹ bá ní pé kọ́ ṣe debate ọmọ primary school tẹ bá ní debate is a boy better than a girl child ẹ máa discover pé in tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé wọn ló máa wá mìíràn jáde fún yín ní school Internet discover here. So when you see a child that is a bully, the first cause is something has gone wrong in the development of that child. Àwọn ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ yẹn kan wà tí wọ́n ti fi dùn. Ó ní àwọn nǹkan kan tọ́mọ yẹn ti rí bóyá bí bàbá ẹ̀ ṣe máa ń tẹ ẹ̀tọ́ ìyá rẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ ni àbí bóyá ìyá ẹ̀ kò bìkítà fún. So ọmọ tó bá ti dàgbà nínú hostility, a child growing up in an hostile environment, kí ló lè expect? Ọmọ tó bá jẹ́ pé ó máa ní láti jà kó tó lè rí attention ni, ọmọ tó bá jẹ́ pé ó máa ní láti jà kó pariwo kó fa wàhálà kó tó lè rí affection àbí n tó yẹ kó jẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ẹ̀. Ṣé mo irú ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ kí lẹ fẹ́ kó mú jáde fún yín láwùjọ? Of course ọmọ yẹn máa mirror gbogbo nǹkan tó àkọ́kọ́ fún mi is parental neglect. When a child is not giving the love and affection that child needs. Every child wants to be loved. So when love and affection is missing, what you don't have, you don't give. You can't give what you don't have. You don't go and export it. So if a child has never experienced love, you cannot expect that child to be able to express it. A child that has to fight for his rights. Aja kò tó ron jẹjẹ. Kí wá bá lẹ ṣe fẹ́ kí irú ọmọ náà understand pé máa dúró de turn. Nígbà tó jẹ́ pé survival of the fittest ni. So those are the things that, you know, are very, very important that bring our children to that point. That's one. Then two, although no, ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ science ó fi hàn wá pé ó ní àwọn ọmọ kan tó jẹ́ pé ó ti máa ń ní ìpalára láti inú oyún. There's biology, yes. You know, there are some children that, for whatever reason, if there's not enough oxygen to the brain, science has shown that in the uterus, now there can be some damage that can cause that child to tend towards, you know, hostility or defiance or aggression and all that. There is also that part. But me, rò pa àwọn yẹn fẹ́ work pọ̀. Although kò fẹ́ lè sì bá ṣe lè sọ torí kò ṣe pé a máa ṣe test yẹ tó yẹ tá fi lè mọ̀ pé ó da eléyìí o òbí tí ò kọ́ dáadáa ni o eléyìí o bóyá àwọn ọpọlọ ni o àbí nǹkan kan. Àwọn yẹn náà wà ń bẹ̀. Tó lè fa ìdí náà. Then ìkejì wa ni pé ṣe rí ọ ní inú ìwé mímọ́ sọ pé inú ayọ̀ ọmọdé ṣe rí láwọn ìwà kan tó dẹ̀ normal tó yẹ pé ọmọ akọ̀ ṣe tí ẹkún bá wá kọ̀ ṣe tó wá rí pé òun jẹ lọ. Every child has some level of defiance. And you know it's part of the development of the child, which is perfectly normal. You tell a child, sit down. If you tell your child, a 3-year-old, sit down, and the child just sits down, and just sits down every time you say sit down without standing or, you know, showing a bit of some rebellion or some defiance, then they will begin to check the brain function of that child. Exactly. Something is wrong with that child. So there is a level of defiance that is actually normal. But you see, there are some things that have rules. There are some things that, you know, there are boundaries. So if a child shows defiance and sees that I get away with it, then that child, of course, will begin to gravitate, will begin to graduate. Ọmọ tó jí tó mú pẹ́ńsù wálé tí ìyá rẹ̀ béèrè pé bolo ti rí pẹ́ńsù àbí ta ló fún ẹ ní pẹ́ńsù tó bá dọ̀la á mú bàtà èèyàn kan wálé á jẹ lọ tó bá dọ̀tún wá tó gba school fees. You know, so the child will continue
from one level to another.
So for me, those are the three basic reasons. The fact that there's been no boundary set, no consequences for these negative actions or negative behaviors. That's the third one that I think that is one of the reasons why today bullying is almost as if it's passed down from generation to generation. In boarding schools, you have last boy. Like bí mo ṣe ní tó ṣe lóbìnrin táwọn ọkùnrin tiẹ̀ àánú àwọn ọkùnrin tó máa ṣe gidi tí sínú ọkàn bá dé tó bá ní last boy last boy yẹn wọ́n bí ìbò tó bá gbẹ̀yìn jẹ́ last boy tiẹ̀ báyìí ní school kejì tí mo tún lọ yẹn wọ́n lè fún ẹ ní 50 naira kọ́ ní kó ra tọ́kì 100 naira kó ra sweet kó ra coke kó tún kó gba change 250 wa. ní 50 naira lọ́dọ̀ fún ẹ wọ́n á fún yín cup wọ́n ní kẹlẹ́ beautify ẹ̀ wá beautify ẹ̀ dẹ̀ nìyí ìyẹn ni pé ẹ máa fi cornflakes milk sugar gbogbo àpò wa pé obama àríjọ ó lè jẹ́ last one tí wọ́n wá ní nínú kọ́bọ̀dù wọn rẹ̀ o bó bá máa jìwà ṣàrọ̀ kọ́ọ̀pù yẹn wà rọ̀. so ẹni pé nígbà tí kò sí ìjìyà fún àwọn ìwà ìpáǹle ló fi wá di pé everybody ló lè ṣe tó bá ṣàti lè mú jẹ wà rí pé mú jẹ so tá a bá fẹ́ dẹ́kun ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan mẹ́ta yẹn a gbọ́dọ̀ padà ká lọ wò díẹ̀.
ẹ ṣé, thank you. Before we actually continue, the number to call on is 0908 111-1067, 0908-111-1067 or 0808-010-1067, 0808-010-1067. àwọn ìlà tí ẹ máa pè sí nìyẹn láti dá sí ètò lónìí. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa náà ni ìpáǹlé ọmọ, ìyẹn ìfìyàjẹ ọmọ lọ́nà tí kò tọ́, fífi ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ dún ènìyàn, fífi ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ dún ọmọ, fífi ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ ọjọ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọ gbolẹ̀ láì nídìí. Nǹkan tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa náà nìyẹn lénìí. 0908-111-1067 tàbí 0808-010-1067. àwọn ojúlà tí ẹ máa bá a pè sí nìyẹn láti dá sí ohun tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́. To continue from where we stop now, how can child bullying be prevented?
Okay, so again, there are two ways. There are two persons involved.
Okay.
Of course, you have the bully and you have the victim.
Yes.
And so, again, if we are going to put an end to it, we also need to begin to look at how we raise our children. A lot of times we raise children that are timid, children that have low self-esteem, and those are the children that usually fall prey, that usually will find themselves in situations like that. So it's very, very important as parents that when we raise our children, we put that in mind. Then again, I'm sorry, I will use this opportunity to say, Gbami awa obi, awa goman fi, ama predispose awa mowa. Àìkíyèsí wa tó ṣe mọ̀ kó mo sọ̀rọ̀ negligence there. It goes both ways. Negligence of the parents will make a child fall victim. Negligence of the parents will make a child a perpetrator of it. So it goes both ways. Àwọn nǹkan wà tá a máa ń ṣe àbí tá a kì í ṣe tó máa jẹ́ pé ó dàbí irú àwọn orúkọ tá a máa ń sọ àwọn ọmọ wa ń gbà mí. You see, some of these names it's like you are just preparing your child for bullying in school. Wow. It's almost, and with all, sense of responsibility and apology to those that might be offended. Only ilé la máa wò ká tó sọmọ lórúkọ. Ṣé rí bo mi mọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wa lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, ẹ máa gbọ́ àwọn orúkọ kan, ẹ máa wò pé kí ni àlòdì, kí ló dé, kí ló le tó yẹn. Àwọn orúkọ yẹn máa mọ̀ kókó sí bó ṣe fẹ́ pe irú àwọn ọmọ yẹn tó jẹ́ pé tó bá dé school tí ìnagijẹ ò ní dín, tí kò ní ṣẹ̀mọ̀ kò ní dín tó máa bàjẹ́. Àkọ́kọ́ ẹ̀ nìyẹn. Inú ìdè wa ni pé ó ní àwọn nǹkan kan tó lè ṣe àwọn ọmọdé ní kékeré tó jẹ́ pé àwọn òbí wa a lè ṣe nǹkan sí, tó jẹ́ pé a kò máa fi sílẹ̀. Táàní ṣe nǹkan sí bóyá ọmọ tó wà tongue tied, something that minor surgery or something can attend to or can sort out. Tí ẹ máa wá fẹwọ́ tẹ́ẹ̀dì ní ṣe àbámọ́ tó ní bowleg àbí k-leg, bó ṣe ní ilé wa ló lẹ́tẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe ń kẹ́ ìyẹn tó jẹ́ pé tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ní kékeré kí ló fẹ́ ṣe sí wọ́n á fi pop sí ni tó bá ó dẹ̀ máa straight. Ṣé mo rí nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀, àwọn nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ń wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn òbí kì í fi àkíyèsí sí ta kò máa wò pé àdàgbà náà àìnímọ̀ tó náà dẹ̀ ni.
Because ignorance.
Àìnímọ̀ tó ní ṣé rí tó bá di pé ẹsẹ̀ ọmọ ti ń kẹ̀, ọmọ tó yẹ kẹsẹ̀ náà ṣàmọ̀ gbogbo ọmọ tó bá fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní máa rìn ó possible kò sí kẹtàn, ṣùgbọ́n tọmọ yẹn bá ti ń dàgbà tẹ́rí pẹ́sẹ̀ náà nà ó yẹ kẹ́ gbé lọ ilé ìwòsàn wọ́n wá ṣàyẹ̀wò. Ìgbà mi ò lè jẹ́ pé kò jẹ́ vitamin D tó, ọkọ̀ lè jẹ́ deficiency ni. So tẹ́ bá lọ síbẹ̀ wọ́n á wò pé ṣé ìtọ́ máa aláwọ̀ nǹkan tó yẹ pé á nà fúnra ẹ̀ láì ṣe nǹkan kan, aláwọ̀ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó yẹ pé tẹ́ bá kọ̀ jẹ́ vitamin D àbí nǹkan kan á dẹ̀ àbí síbẹ̀ ni rárá kí n sílẹ̀ bíbí mi ti rìn tí mo báyìí. Àmọ́ tí ẹ̀ka má lọ sí sọ́kúsọ. Watch out vitamin deficiency tó jẹ́ I think it's D. Wọ́n fún adé àná fúnra adé láwọn tó jẹ́ pé minor surgery lọ́ máa ṣe ọmọ fi pop sí adé nà. Irú àwọn yẹn bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jẹ́ pé àwọn òbí kì í mọ rírì ẹ̀, àmọ́ pé ìpalára ló máa lọ ń jẹ́ fún àwọn ọmọ wa. Àbọ̀ ọmọ tó kàn ń tóbi, ọmọ kékeré tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ti bó ṣe ń jẹun ó kàn tóbi ẹ wá ní ó kàn tóbi náà ní ìdí ilé bó ṣe ń jẹ. Àwọn irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ọmọ wọn á dé school á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ àbí ọmọ tí ẹ̀ ràn lọ́wọ́ láti tẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ní ìmọ́tótó á di pé ara ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní rùn tó bá dé iléèwé. Àwọn you make them easy praise for bullying. So ìtàwọn òbí náà ṣe nínú ẹ̀ tá a bá dẹ̀ máa dẹ́kun ẹ̀, àwọn òbí a gbọ́dọ̀ padà sí báwo la ṣe ń tọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa. Púpọ̀ náà àwa òbí là kì í ráyè fáwọn ọmọ wa, àwọn ọmọ wọn kì í lè bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, wọn kì í lè sọ̀rọ̀ sọ tọ́mọ fúdé bá fẹ́ sọ ni àwọn àgbàlagbà sọ̀rọ̀ ìwọ náà fẹ́ sọ tí ìwé bá ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ọmọ tó bá ti ń jájú mọ́ nílé tí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n bá fẹ́ rẹ jẹ kò ní lè sọ̀rọ̀.
Participation.
It's very very important. So ọmọ tó bá ti kó láyà jẹ tó yẹ pé tí nǹkan kan bá tiẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ mo máa dẹ̀ sọ fáwọn òbí tẹ́ bá fẹ́ bọ́ ọmọ wí bóyá ẹ fẹ́ nà ni fún nǹkan tí ò bá ṣe ẹ jẹ́ kọ́ mọ òun mọ ìdí tẹ́ fi fẹ́ nà.
Kò ṣe pé wá bọ́ ọmọ mi tó máa tó ṣe.
ọmọ orúkọ ọmọ ìdí ẹ máa wá máa ní gbogbo ìgbà ló ṣáà máa ń ṣe é. olùkọ́ tí ì mọ̀ pé tóun ṣe yìí kò dáa ń tẹ̀ ń nà sí nìyẹn.
Kò tẹ̀ mọ́.
So ọmọ tó bá jẹ́ pé ló ti ń kó láyà jẹ láti inú ilé tó yẹ kó nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọ tó yẹ ilé tó yẹ kó ti ká ti kẹ́ bá àti ẹ̀gbọ́dọ̀ kẹ́ra tó yẹ pé bá a ṣe ń fọwọ́ ọ̀tún bọmọ orí náà là ń fi tòsí ẹ̀ tá a fi ń fà mọ́ra ilé tó yẹ kó ti rífẹ̀ẹ́ tó yẹ kó ti kẹ́ tó yẹ kó ti ní ẹ̀káyè ti gbà á láti lè express ara ẹ̀. Once that is away, once that is lost, of course kí lẹ fẹ́ kí irú ọmọ náà béèrè ní class kò ní lè dúró láti béèrè fún láìtẹ́. So ìyẹn wà lára àwọn nǹkan tó fà wá débi tá a bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ dẹ́kun ẹ̀ a gbọ́dọ̀ padà lọ sí ibẹ̀.
We don't really have much of our time, but I quickly want us to touch like the effects of child bullying in a child.
You see, we have the psychological effect, and of course there's also sometimes the physical effects, because sometimes in the process injuries can be cured. Like I mentioned to you that sometimes when they say large boy, physical injury, tó yẹ pé wọ́n máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bẹ́ látòrí bunk sísàlẹ̀ torí pé wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé àwọn ló máa jẹ́ last boy tó máa di pé àwọn ní senior òun máa gbé ránṣẹ́. So ìgbà míì irú yẹn máa wà. Psychological effects tó máa ń ní ni pé it changes the perception of the child about the world. Ó máa di irú àwọn tó sọ pé wọ́n ṣe retí láti gbẹ̀san. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni so bí in tó yẹ kó mọ́ expect kó yẹ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìfẹ́ love is reciprocal, love is extended, is passed down. So what you don't have, you don't give it. So ọmọ tó bá di pé a child that they pick on regularly ọmọ náà ní ṣe dáadáa níbi ìwé ẹ̀ torí ẹ̀rù máa bà aláwọn ọmọ tó jẹ́ pé kò ní lè farabalẹ̀ kọ́ṣẹ́ á fẹ́ máa sá lọ kúrò ní school.
Ọmọ mi máa ní pé tó máa ní kó máa lọ school ní òun lọ school bóyá sínú
ọkùnrin wà ní school tàbí ibi tó bá ti ń kọ́ṣẹ́ ìbẹ̀rù ló máa fi kọ́ṣẹ́. So pẹ̀lú bí teacher ṣe ń kọ́ kò lè assimilate nǹkan kan tí teacher ń kọ́ because nǹkan tó ń rántí òun ni traumatic experience. Ìgbà mi ó lè dẹ̀ lè ti jẹ́ kó wọ́n ti sọ fún pé wo tó bá di ọ̀la nǹkan tí mo máa fojú ẹ̀ rí ìjọ tó bá ọmọ tó bá sọrú ẹ̀ fún gbogbo ọjọ́ yẹn ó yẹ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé ó kọ̀ wá ṣeré school kò sí kankan tó kọ́njọ́ yẹn tó fẹ́ mọ̀ torí ìjìyàtọ̀ ló máa jẹ yẹn ló máa ronú pé tòun mà dẹ̀dẹ̀ ti bá wọn. So it affects the perception of the child. It also can affect the capacity of the child to assimilate what the child is being taught in school. So and if it's very traumatic, of course, post-traumatic stress disorder can also, the child can go into depression, as a result of that. You can have excessive fear, anxiety can set in. A lot of problems can actually, psychological problems that can hamper the development, the natural growth and development of the child can actually set in when the child is constantly exposed or subjected to bullying. So it's something that is really very terrible. It's an experience that is very traumatic. For instance, I told you when somebody asked me to pack soldier hands. In fact, sometimes when not in the recent time, but growing up as a secondary school girl, when I see soldier hands, it jolts me. Because I remember the bites, the stings that I experienced when I packed them, from the window. So it could be very traumatic for a child. And then on the other side, even the child that is perpetrating it, it's a sign of insecurity. It's a sign of low self-esteem on the part of the bully himself. Because if you're completing yourself, you won't be bothered that a junior is wearing the color of shoe that you're wearing. You understand? So even a bully himself, the bully himself is also needs help, because there is no self-esteem. And then, of course, it will gravitate, of course, to domestic violence at home. If it continues to go like that, if it's not checked, somebody that has low self-esteem, or a man that has insecurity issues, of course, would also be insecure about his wife doing well, and he would always feel that he has to lord it over everybody. In the place of work, he would be a terrible boss, because he would believe if he's not a mean person, then he won't be able to get the respect that he needs to get. So across board, it would affect the home, And it will also, of course, if the father has no self-esteem, has insecurity issues, and then there's the domestic violence, so the children that will be brought into that setting, of course, will also be affected. So, the cycle continues. And that's why it's something that we need to look at. There has to be measures put in place. Our students need to be taught the effects that constant bullying can actually have on their peers.
Wow, it's a pity we can go more than this because our time has actually gone. For sponsorship and advert, we really want this program to be extended to like 1 hour so that we'll be able to do justice to so many things when it comes to child rights. For sponsorship and advert, you can call 081-2220-7429. 081-2220-7429. I want to say thank you to my wonderful guests for coming. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your coming. I really appreciate your presence. And thank you for shedding more light on these things. I know you have a lot to say.
There's always a lot to say.
We really don't have much time to cover all those things. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. I really appreciate it. I want to say thank you to my producer, Agnes Obatoye, the DCA on duty, Nkechi Olubumi, and Collins Adenyuka. Thank you so much. And the engineer on duty, Victor Owolabi, the HOPN, and Babatunde Tiami, and the general manager himself, Lere Shitsu. Thanks so much for the advantage and for the opportunity, rather. We say thank you for joining us on this program. All our viewers, all our listeners actually. Do well to join us next week for another episode of Child Rights at Omode, where we talk about child rights and everything that has to do with it.